Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. But today's preview, Scotland versus Italy. And it should be a very interesting match with Scotland, who I think have been very impressive this Six Nations. They are going to come up short, unfortunately, but I think they were very much in it to win it throughout the tournament. And for me, the reason I've been so impressed with them is that they haven't been blown away once. They've had a couple of poor moments, but they've had some really good moments as well. And I think they're quite close to being a really top team. It's about the consistency at the end of the day, isn't it? But their defensive structures are working really well, and on the attack, I think that they do have moments. They've got game-changing players. I think Hugh Jones has been an absolute revelation at outside centre for Scotland. Finn Russell's playing some of his best rugby. I think the Scottish side is very exciting and should be one to watch out for the World Cup. This Italian side has taken strides over the Six Nations. They've definitely improved. I think a lot of people some people are saying they don't buy into the help. They're actually still pretty poor. I think they've got upsets in them. I do. I think that they've definitely taken more steps forward. I think that maybe they're a year too early in terms of really sort of being able to maybe pull out a couple of shots to the World Cup. But I think that there's a project there which is really worth getting behind. Still such a young side. And again, this weekend is about taking another step forward. Before we look at the two teams, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. We'll start with the home side, which is not France, it is Scotland. And not quite sure how we end up there. But that's what we're looking for. A couple of changes across the side, and not too many, but having to change the halfback pairing as well as fullback because Finn Russell and Stuart Hogg have been ruled out for this weekend. So in the front, we have Piers Schoolman, George Turner, Xander Ferguson. Piers Schoolman, I think, is somebody who's becoming he's been quite underrated for a while, but gets to a lot of work. And I think we're starting to really sort of appreciate that he actually is very much an international, loosehead, a quality loosehead at international level. Gets to a lot of work, loves carrying the ball. I think quite pretty solid scrummager. I think that they very much went toe-to-toe with Ireland's pack, who were falling apart last week, very well. George Turner as well, I think, has been very good there. Richie Gray, Grant Gilchrist, the two locks there. In many ways, they're quite under fire. I think a lot of people are saying that Scotland tend to be sort of one world-class lock away from being a great side. And you can understand that. They've got very good hard workers in Richie Gray, Grant Gilchrist. But they're kind of missing that X-factor lock, that sort of that enforcer, that player that can really sort of stamp his authority. You think of the best teams in the world and how, Eben Etzebeth does the role for South Africa. You think about how Paul Willemse and Thibaut Clement now, for example, has making a big impact for France. Ty Byrne has had some fantastic games for Ireland. So I think lock is probably one sort of way they're missing that really big world class player. It's a nice loose trio of Jamie Ritchie, who continues to captain the side, Hamish Watson and Jack Dempsey. Ben White has a new partner in that halfback pairing in Blair Kinghorn, which I don't really like. I think that he's a very safe option at fly half. I don't think he tries anything really. He's pragmatic, I suppose, is a nice sort of way about saying it. He's a safe option. I would have liked to have seen something a bit different. I would like to have seen Ben Healy given an opportunity, if not, why not? But Blair Kinghorn is being back there. Duan Panamova, Carl Steyn, the two wings. Hupalotto and Serena Tupolotto and Hugh Jones will continue. Tupolotto actually vice captain for the game, which is, I think, a testament to how important he's quickly become to the side. Ollie Smith comes in at full back. Off the bench, Ewan Ashman, Rory Sutherland, Viepi and Nell. You then got Scott Cummings and Matt Ferguson, Addy Price, Ben Healy and Cameron Redpath. For the Italians, also had to make a couple of changes, a bit of rotation in and around that pack as well. So Diana Fischetti, Giacomo Nicotera are partnered by Marco Riccioni, who comes into the starting lineup after being on the bench for pretty much the entire Six Nations. Gets an opportunity, as does Eduardo Iachizzi. Nicola Canoni dropping down to the bench. Federico Razza does continue. And it's the unchanged loose trio of Sebastian Negri, Michel Lamar, the captain, and Lorenzo Canoni, who's one of my favourite players at the moment. Alessandro Pasco gets an opportunity to partner Paolo Garbizzi, who was frustrated last weekend. I think, again, created some very nice moments. Maybe, I think Italy, as much as we enjoy them being very expansive and taking risks, maybe sometimes need a bit safer. And I think that's something that Paolo Garbizzi needs to almost sort of take responsibility, which is quite harsh on a 22-year-old. But he is, one of the few truly world-class players in this Italian side. And he now needs to sort of take responsibility, understand when it's on, when it's not on. And sometimes, a relieving kick, finding touch, gigging it downfield, giving his pack and stuff time to recover, outweighs the attack mentality. A very exciting player in Simone Agassi gets an opportunity. 21-year-old wing has been part of that very impressive Italian under 21 side. He scored 7 tries for Zebra this season. He's a proper finisher. And I think he's going to be someone to really watch out for in the coming years. You know, a small scrum half in a scrum cap. We've all seen the story, haven't we? Then in the centres, Tommaso Menoncello, for me, continues to make some very nice big strides. John Ignacio Brex is very underrated. Eduardo Padovani and Tommaso Allen. I thought Tommaso Allen had quite a good game last week. I thought he stood up quite nicely. Obviously, he's no Angie Capuzzo, but he really is. Off the bench then, it's Marco Manfredi, Federico Zani, Pietro Ceccarelli. Then you've got Niccolo Canoni, Giovanni Pettinelli, Manuel Giuliani, Alessandro Garbizzi, and Luca Marizzi. Good to see Alessandro Garbizzi into the side. You actually might see a bit of a Garbizzi axis in the halfback pairing there, which will be a lot of fun. So cool to see if those two can get onto the park at the same time. Let me know what you think of the team and your score predictions down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.